Hello friends. Today, we'll discuss something very interesting. It's called the squid game psychology or mentality. So, someone asked the creator of the squid game, not the creator in the sense of producer or director, within the game, within the series itself, the person who was organizing those games, the rich brat or the rich fellow who was dying. So the one of the winner, I think, goes to him and he asks him why he is doing all these things. He says something very shocking. He says that he finds, you know, fulfillment in watching people killing each other or destroying each other. For most middle class viewers, it was monstrous, it was evil, right? How can he enjoy something like that? That is so evil. But the deeper question is, what happens to a human being when all his needs are fulfilled, right? And to understand this, we must turn to a concept called Maslow hierarchy or Maslow hierarchies of needs. Very interesting. Because see, one thing I always question before we discuss this, that do we have free will? Do we have the choice to do whatever we want? We do have, as long as we are living this life with awareness. And that is what existentialism and all these philosophies, teach, that you need to have an authentic life. If not, if you're not aware, what will happen? You will fall for a framework. There is a framework, there is a system that will force you to live a life that you will start living unconsciously without any awareness. So you would feel that you are living an authentic life, but somewhere you are falling for the same pattern what others did in the past, the patterns that others also followed in the past. So when you are outside, you criticize them, you judge them, but when you are also in the system, you are exactly doing the same thing. That is the whole point. So you need to understand this framework, very important. So there are 5 levels as per Maslow's hierarchy of needs. There are 5 levels, and the 6th level where all these billionaires fall. Most of them. I'm not saying that by default everyone will reach there, but if you're not being aware, you might end up there. Okay. So the first one is psychological needs. Very important. So this is the first level where most people in developing countries, or many people even in developed countries, they are trapped here. So here we need to worry about food, we need to worry about water, air, sleep, shelter, basic needs, right? So we cannot do anything. People who are in this level, they cannot do anything, they cannot be creative because they don't have mental bandwidth, right? They cannot think anything beyond basic needs because they are struggling with their day-to-day life. So if they're not sure whether they're gonna get food or their family are not gonna get food today, they don't care. People who are in this level, they don't care about philosophy, purpose, or morality, or status. They don't care about all these things, right? Once all these basic needs are being taken care of, you move to the next level. So many people in developing countries, they are moving to the next level, which is safety needs. Like mostly middle class people, they are somewhere between level 2 and level 3. I'll explain how. In level 2, see, middle class, we think like we are up in hierarchy. We are just one level up than people who are like, homeless people or people who are, poor. So here in the second level, that's called safety needs. Once you have all your basic needs taken care of, you think of security, physical security, financial security. You build a house, you buy a land, you invest your money, you live in a society where that is being protected by security guards and all, because then you worry about your physical and financial security. You worry about you means you and your family, right? So in this level, people are managing, being protecting themselves. They are trying to protect themselves in every aspects. But you're still operating from fear, right? Even if you're in this level, you don't have fear for food or shelter, but you are having fear for your security or safety. So fear of losing what you have gained. So you see, middle class, they always have this fear if you don't do things right, and that is what we teach to our kids, that if you don't study, you might fall for might go back to the level 1, right? So be careful. You have to be good at studies and all, and that fear will drive our life. The rest of our life will be driven by these fears. But somehow, if you cross this level, and many of us had already crossed this level, because you have, once you have a comfortable income, you have reached to a comfortable safety structure or setup, then you think about love and belonging. So you get married, you look for companionship, you want community where you want to feel you belong to some place or some group, and that gives you happiness. So social identity, you want to be recognized in society as a gentleman or a good human being, and you want to get into romantic relationships and all, because you feel appreciated, you feel loved. So once first two levels are achieved, you want to feel loved. Now number 4 is esteem. So we see, I was wrong actually, initially, that I told you that we are middle class people are at number 2, 3 and 4, like somewhere there. I would say I said number 2 and 3, but I would say number 4 is also important, because esteem, once you have all these things, you want social status. So you want promotions, you want power, you want to feel you have complete control over your life. You can dictate things in your life. You're not dependent on others. People go for entrepreneurship, they go for business, they want to get promotions, titles and all, because you want validation. So you no longer want comfort or security or safety, you want validation, right? So though most of us, we have enough money to survive comfortably, we have that basic social safety, that safety net is there money wise, we want validation now. So we are at level 4 esteem, we want validation. Okay, now number 5 is self-actualization. We haven't reached there where you have enough money, you are not working for money anymore, like billionaires or millionaires. So here you want to exploit your fullest potential, because if people who are coming all the way from level 1 to level 5, they are so confident now because they've seen their growth. They want to exploit their fullest potential first. They also want to seek purpose. They invest money in philanthropy work, foundations. They create foundations. They go for space exploration, art, spiritual retreats. So they want to do a lot of work for society. They want to pay back, or whatever word term they can use it for. The whole point is that you want some purpose in life, because because at this stage you want the material success is no longer stimulate you. You want something bigger, and this state also gives you this something called existential boredom, right? Because you have everything now, you are not motivated by money. What else will motivate you? And there where you want to give it back, you want to feel as if you are improving society, you are doing your part, and that gives you some purpose, at least, because that's a bigger problem that you can solve. We have so many poor people and there's so many problems in the world. So you think, okay, let me help the world to be a better place and all, and there where your energy and attention go. However, at some point when you have done enough, and say you have 30 years left to your life, you're too young, or maybe you're 60, 65 years old, and you have done enough, you have made enough money, and you have done enough social work also. You have done enough, you have given to the world also. Now what else? And there where the real existential boredom starts, because you don't know what to do now, right? And there where you want to explore the unknown territory. You want to do something that no one has done before. It could be on positive side or on negative side, right? It depends on what framework of mind you have, what state of mind you have, whether you're aware of your success or you're living your life unconsciously. Because see, it doesn't mean they're billionaires, they're successful, doesn't mean they know all, right? Spiritually, maybe they're really, really backward. Maybe they're not, like people with, strong social values, right? And moreover, this existential boredom, it's very difficult to experience at, level 5. You can have the same existential boredom at level 1 also, level 2 also. But at level 5, this boredom hits you differently, because you don't have to get up to work for money. You don't have to get up to think about your family's survival or safety, right? So this boredom is really, really dangerous. At the top, this boredom is really, really dangerous. And where the humans, they start inventing new games. They start exploring new ideas or new unknown territories that no one has ever explored. They start taking risks. They get into like some life-threatening, adventures. They go for something that no one has done before. And and there where the stories of billionaire eccentric begins. Eccentric billionaires begin, because if you look at this Squid Game, all these people who were there, they all were billionaires. So they want to do something. They want to see people. There are different fantasies. They want to fulfill all their fantasies because they have resources to do so, right? The problem is that you don't know whether you would do the same, because you're not yet there. Level 5, maybe you will do the same. Who knows, right? Think about it. You have everything and you are getting bored at home. You would do something. That's the reason why we have so many, for middle class to reach, to experience that, we have so many theme parks, adventure parks, because they want you to experience something that is dangerous, life-threatening, make you feel, put you in a situation where you feel different. Because at home, sitting in your comfortable chair, you might feel bored to death, right? And there where we cannot judge, as long as you understand this framework. And people who are falling for this framework, they are not evil, by nature. This is how system works. The only thing you can do to gain your free will is to be aware. As long as you are aware, you can gain that free will and you will not fall for it. Otherwise, by default, the framework itself, the system itself will push you there. Because at level 5, you cannot be there at level 5 for long. At some point, you'll get bored and you have people, either you'll get pushed to next level. And what is next level? No one can define it, because no one is there, right? Because there is no structure of level 6. Let's call it level 6 or level infinity. There is no structure there, right? There is no moral code of conduct. There is no rule. There are no regulations, because there are very less number of people, and so guidance is very rare there, right? So the only thing that you can do, even if you are in level 2, 3, 4, don't be too harsh, too judgmental, because this is how system works. And as long as, see, I'm not saying that you should forgive them or you should give them concession. The thing is that you should not lose your sleep on them, because this is how, as long as you're aware that if there is a lion and there is a deer, lion will eat the deer. You will not lose your sleep over it, right? So as long as your mind is aware, you will be at peace with all these things happening in your world, because the world is full of negativity. You see so many billionaires are doing some crazy stuff. As long as you are aware of this framework, you understand why they are doing it. As long as you understand, obviously they should get punished for their crimes and or whatever nonsense they are doing, but you should not be worried. That is my point. Got it? Final reframe, let me tell you that the problem is not wealth. This is the conclusion. The problem is unconscious escalation. The problem is not success. The problem is emptiness after success.